Hello darlings, thank you so much for tuning in. In this video I'm going to be showing you 3 techniques I use to achieve this trendy invisible braid hairdo with absolutely no cornrows. So let's jump right into the video. Now I'm starting off on clean and moisturized hair, and I'm making a circular part toward the center of my head, and then I'm just braiding this hair all the way to the end. Now before we get into the first technique, I want to show you guys the parting that I'm working with. I'm going for a slant or curve parting all throughout my hair, and I'm trying my best to make these partings as neat and clean as I possibly can. So guys, you just want to take your time when you're making your parts, because this step is fundamental in how the finished results will turn out. Now I just continue to section my entire hair before I start the actual styling. And I should mention that this type of tail comb is a lot easier in making a precise parting than the tail comb that is entirely plastic. For this hairstyle, I'm using the Let's Jam Regular Hold by Dark and Lovely. You guys can use whatever jam or edge control that you prefer. You just want to use something that helps to sleek your hair in and let them lay as flat as possible without making them too wet and cause them to curl up. Now I'm just parting some tiny sections of hair that I'm using as detailed braids in this hairstyle. I just love seeing these tiny braids between the larger braids because I just think they add so much more accent to the entire hairstyle. Since there'll be no cornrows in this video, for these tiny braids I'll be making flat twists, and then I'll just be plaiting the ends. Now for the first technique, I'm using plaits to create an inside corner effect. I'm taking a small section of hair and applying some jam to it, and then I'm just making 3 sections and plaiting it like I normally would, but I'm plaiting it inward. So you know you have 2 ways that you can normally plait. You can either plait it outward or you can plait it inward. I think it's probably easier if you just look. I don't know if I'm explaining it clearly enough, but I'm plaiting it inward, and then I'm gonna just tuck that plait into the plait that is coming afterwards. So each time I make a plait, I just keep tucking the plait into the other plait. It's also good if you don't plait it all the way to the end, as it makes it a lot flatter, I think, when you keep the ends a little bit more loose and just make a tiny portion of the hair plaited. So you only plait a very tiny portion of the hair. If you have very fine hair though, you might want to plait each section to at least half the length of your hair, as this will make the center of the plait a lot more dense, and this is necessary for a future step that I will show you guys in this video. For this hairstyle, it helps a lot if you have straight hair or if you chose to blow dry your hair before doing this hairstyle, because it helps to make the sections a lot more flat and neat, and it really makes the hair a lot more manageable when doing any braided hairstyle. However, I did not choose to blow dry my hair before doing this hairstyle, and it did give me a bit of a challenge to keep my sections in place and keep the hair neat, but I just kept applying jam as necessary and just taking my time and just braiding it to the best of my ability. You can use your fingers to part the sections if you want, and you don't have to make them so pronounced, but I mostly used my tail comb to make the sections because I wanted to create that stitch braid effect. Now this second technique I'll be showing you is what I call a reverse braid method. Now I'm using Supreme Jumbo Braid, and I'm cutting it in half, and then I'm teasing one end a little bit and making it not so blunt but not too much teasing, and then I put a hair tie around the hair. I'm teasing the other end of the hair and I'm making it a lot more uneven. So for the first end, if there are any hairs that are sticking out way too long than the other portions of the hair, I just use scissors to just clip it off so it's not too messy. I'm using the hair tie as a guide, and I'm making a regular plait on the shorter portion of the hair, and as I get closer to the end of the plait, I make it very, very tight and firm because this will be like the front of my braid. So this is why I did not tease this end as much as the other end, because I wanted the consistency to be as close as possible to a real invisible braid. Now I'm just flipping the hair around and sliding the hair tie up so it doesn't pass the braided portion of the hair. Then I'm going to continue the braid on the other end of the hair, hence why I call it a reverse braid technique. So after trimming up the flyaways from the braid and burning the tip, this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to be using this side as the top of my cornrow because a real cornrow would have the V's turned upside down like this. And I'll be attaching this side to my head with bobby pins. Now the third technique is like I used in my butterfly braids video, where I'll be using bobby pins to attach the braids to my natural hair. Now this is why it was necessary to have the center of our fake cornrows more dense than the outer sides of it, because it will help the bobby pins to hold more securely in our hair. You want to make sure your bobby pins are properly coated and that they're not stripping so that it doesn't tear your hair, and you just take your time and place them in as gently as you possibly can. And in case you guys are wondering, these will not fall out so easily. You just consider them as regular clip-in extensions. They are very sturdy and fastened to your hair, so you would definitely have to be tugging on them for them to fall out. The sides of my hair are a lot thinner, so I had to cut this bobby pin in half and fold it to make this smaller bobby pin. Don't you guys just wish they had bobby pins like half the size? Oh, I did hot water the ends of my braids before installing them, and I used the hot towel to hot water the portions of the braids that were attached to my head. Basically the same way they would do it if you were doing it at a salon. Now I'm adding some gold clips and checking to ensure no bobby pins are showing, and that's it for this tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to subscribe for more cool videos and give this video a thumbs up. Also share it with your friends, and see you all in my next video.